Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Can everybody hear me? I hope so. Or do I got to go through, the settings change crap again? How is everybody this Sunday? I hope everybody had a great weekend. Mine was a hit or miss, man. I wasn't feeling good, and then I was feeling good. Weather changing, screwing me up. Let's see who's come to watch the mini build. Hello, Leanne. How are you? Okay, good. You can hear me. Fantastic. Uh, Will any of these houses have lawns? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hey, Liz, how's it going? Hi, Pinky. Hello, sweetie. How are you? Good. Everybody can hear me, so we got it going on. All right, we got it going on. So, welcome, guys. Hey, Sherry, how's it going? So let's switch this over to the camera so you guys can see what the hell. So, whoa, extreme close up. I don't know how that happened, but there it is. Right? Wrong way. Wrong way. That's what we've got going on so far, guys. But first, I want to ask, how's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Everybody have a good weekend? I hope so. Here we've been getting rain, so of course, like I said, the extreme weather. Oh my God, my arms were on fire so bad last night I wanted to die. Hey, Ozzy, how's it going? So, needless to say, I wasn't a happy camper last night, but I'll take it over the snow any day. Just another day of trying to survive. Let's see, I was trying to go live after you and wouldn't let me choose 6. It was a nightmare and had to set it for 2. Get an error, undo changes, and change the time. Oh my God, I know everybody's having issues with something. Sorry about that, Liz. Too many squirrels this weekend. Yeah. Too many. They got hot pants now, Leanne. They're all looking for their nuts. That's what's going on there. Looking for their stash. Yeah, the squirrels are running here too, and of course now all the snow's melted, and anyone that has a dog, they know what they're left with after the snow disappears. So guess we'll be washing the driveway and the yard tomorrow. Yuck. But hey, it just goes with the territory, right? All that fun stuff. I spent Saturday vomiting all day, Sunday and sore ribs, still sore. Oh, poor Pinky. But you're better now, right? Yeah, you had one heck of a nasty stomach bug, that's for sure. God, but I heard it's going around, so hopefully not everybody else ends up with it because it just sucks. It really does. Hey, Pomp, how's it going? Hello, Roger. How are you guys doing? Glad you could pop in for the mini show. I know, poor Pinky. I know she said she was getting sick the other day, and then yeah, it got her. Thank God it was just like a 24-hour thing, right, Pinky? Is that what it was? Ozzy, I was at Laura. Did you finish the metal ship build? Ozzy, no, I had to put that on hold. It was tearing my hands up pretty bad. Excuse me. The parts were so small, and I had to keep using metal nippers, and it was a lot of plier work, and my hands swelled up like the size of a football. So I put that on the shelf for now. Not saying that I'm not going to finish it, but I think I have to do that one little bits at a time. And of course, there was some major crap going on with it as well. I finished the whole deck section, and then it broke where the bend was. So I'm going to have to solder and reinforce those pieces so that it doesn't bust up on me. Hey, Steph, how's it going? Steph's going to go buggers when she sees what we're going to be doing tonight. I'm giving you fair warning, Steph. So yeah, the metal ship is on hold, but I did buy another Flying Dutchman that is wooden, and it's huge. So we'll build that one, and then my hands won't be so mad at me. Nope, you didn't miss it. So like I said, I'm gonna do that one, give myself a break, and do it a little at a time. So it's in its box and it's on the shelf, and we'll have to do it a little at a time. Otherwise, I won't be able to use my hands at all. I didn't think they would affect me as bad as it did. But yeah, my hand blew right up. It was horrible. Hello, Denise. Good to see you. How are you doing? So we had to switch gears and move into this one, which is the one with the train, and it came with a music box. So you guys are going to see how I set up the music box and see how far we've gotten with this. So if you guys got your coffee ready, and we'll see where we are here. You see, this is one half of our train station. And this is what I've been up to. And I'm going to explain what happened with this section after I show you the first part. We've got the first part here. Let me remove our instructions and get them out of the way. And here we've got the first part where you see it's all put together. Isn't it cute? And see, I did was all the finished edges, I painted them because I thought it just made it look more finished. It just looked better instead of leaving it raw. And I've got some edges here that I haven't painted, which I'm going to show you how I did that. So we're going to do some painting tonight. And then there's the inside, all decorated, ready to rock and roll. And of course it lights up. So that's really cute. But I'm going to show you how I painted the edges. Normally I would paint all of this before I put it together. But when I did this part, I wasn't sure on how I wanted it, if I wanted to leave it raw edge or wanted it painted. And I think the painted looks so much better. I'm going to show you how I painted the detail. You see that red detail on the tower? That's what we're going to be showing tonight. Hello, Carla. How are you? So that's where that's where Steph is going to go boogers. I'm going to show you how I did the wiring. The wiring was done naturally through the ceiling of each room. And then it was funneled through the back part of the side part of this building. The reason you can't see all of the wiring is because I had to camouflage it, because I didn't, I built all my furniture. Next up is tidying and organizing. Oh, good for you, Roger. Good for you. I camouflaged it because I didn't like, this was going to be on the outside. It was going to show the wiring, and it looked crappy to me. So what I did is once I had to put an extension on this. So I had to clip all of the wires together and then join them up. And I didn't solder those. What I did was I taped them off with the electrical tape. So it gave me a more flat surface because these two buildings are going to be going together. And if I did a solder on them, it would have been a lump, and it would have interfered with the flush, the buildings coming together as flush. So you see here, this wiring comes from the top and it comes down here, but I camouflaged it because I had leftover brick paper. So that's why you always save all this stuff, because you never know what you might want to use it for. So I camouflaged that section so you won't be able to see it. Same thing with the bottom part. And then I put the extension on, which what I did was I took another lamp, and this is what they told me to do in the instructions. You take one of the lamps, you cut off the light part, and then you wire the wires to the adjacent so that they'll work. And then it was fed through a hole in the floor, and then it comes out the bottom through that track. I glued that into place because this is all going to go underneath the train tracks on the adjacent part. The second half was a total and complete nightmare. Let's see how this is going to go flush up against here, and they butt up against each other. So if I didn't do the wiring correctly, it would leave a really huge gap, and I didn't want that. So what I did, like I said, I did what I did to camouflage and to make it work. This section here, this is the part, it's a good thing I didn't film because it was a lot of swearing. Because my archways here were flawed. And of course, you can't tell. I did have to do a major repair on this one. This whole support shaft shattered. So I had to reconstruct the whole thing and glue it all back together to make it fit. And then, of course, I reinforced it with glue. And then when it dried for 24 hours, I repainted it, and you can't even tell. Thank God. So also here, we made ourselves a little newsstand. If you could see the little newsstand, isn't that cute? and then our soda vending machine, and that's where we put our lanterns and our benches. So this is where people are going to wait for the train. And then also at the top, you see, I'm very ginger with this because I'm afraid, because this whole board sheet there had a flaw in it. But then I also did a stained glass archway. So when this all lights up, you'll see the stained glass. It looks really cool. So when you make the wooden ship, are you going to make the house with the wooden Widow's Walk? Watching for the ship to come home. Oh, see, Leanne's got so many ideas. I love the little lighthouse miniature to build. They have them, Pinky. They do. And I might switch on and off. Who knows? I love doing this, but I wanted this one because I had the train. So again, I showed you how we did that. And like I said, once we get this all hooked together, those will go together like so. And this is actually, the waiting area for the train. And then it moved on to the base, which I have here already set and ready. And we're going to do that gently so we don't muck stuff up. And here we have, it was just, regular board, and they had a paper design for it. And there's the hole where the wiring is going to go. And that is our main base for the whole unit, because this section is going to go on top of here. Oh, man down. See what I mean? Oh, my God. Oh, every time that I have an issue with that, I shit my pants because I don't want it to break again. And then we have another platform that we put together, which is right here. And this was all in sections. And, of course, there's the hole for the wiring. And this was, I had to cover all of this. And then each individual step was made. And that's what it looks like on the bottom. So you're constructing all of those steps in separate pieces. And then you have your leveling pieces, which gives you that finished step look. So I'm going to take this gently, stick it up there so you get a general idea what that's going to look like. And that's what it's going to look like, because the rest of the building is going to go on this platform. Like so. And then, of course, looking great, the first thing I want to build when I get organized is a Borlas Karloff Frankenstein monster. Oh, that would be so cool. That'd be cool. All right. And then I had, of course, another mishap doing some of this. Let me get this so it does what it's supposed to. In the train, you don't pay. That's the problem when you don't pay attention to directions. And my bad. Hey, William, how's it going? When I was doing the train tracks, I wasn't paying attention to which side that this piece was going to attach. And of course, I did it upside down. And I had stuff glued. So I had to gently separate all of these pieces and put them on the right side so that this lines up, because this is where that wiring and stuff is going to go through. And then this moves. I'll show you how it moves. Slides in and out. If I grab the right pieces here. Slides in and out so you can move your train. And that will be placed in over here in between. The wiring is going to come up underneath those tracks and into the hole where it has to go. And the train is actually the last part of the build. But I want to show you right now is the painting. So we're going to move these pieces out of our way so I don't destroy them. Because, that's how I roll. We're going to put it over there in a safe spot. Remove all of this out of the way. And then I'm going to show you guys how I did the detailed painting. And also with this tower, I have a second tower that is exactly the same. And I left some unfinished so you could see what I'm doing. And then it's capped off with the top. How's William doing? Hope you're doing all right. So what I'm going to do first is show you how I did the detail work on these windows. It was really simple. Steph is going to bug. So Steph, you might want to close your eyes for this one. Perfect tool for this. You would think liner brush, right? No. I mean, you can if your hands are still steady and don't shake like mine do. Older you get, the less sturdy the hands are. But I used the tools that I've got from doing acrylic nails. And this is a tool that we use. It's a dot tool. And this has a small tip and a medium sized tip to make flowers. Flower designs or certain designs on the fingernail. This was perfect for this detailed job. And I'm going to show you. And what I did was I trimmed this out in red. So we're going to shake up the red. And I just use the cap. I don't have to, don't dirty an extra container. Just use the paint that's in the cap. That's more than enough. And if you can see, I'm going to try to do this so you guys can see. Just dip that small tipped end in that paint. And I find that it works perfectly. You get it where you want the paint. It glides on beautifully. Can you see that? And you could do it really quick. And it keeps you from getting any flashing of paint over the edges, which is awesome. Liner brush, like in my younger days, I could do it with a liner brush, no problem. But now that I'm older and my hands aren't as steady, I find this tool works great. So that's why I always stress to you guys, always think outside the box. Always trying to find something that's going to serve your purpose and just, works best for you. And it even works great in the corners because it just flows right in there. And it gives you just that right amount of paint. You see how that went on there really quick? And we've already got one side done. It's quite large-scale train. Rod Stewart builds model railways. His layouts are phenomenal. Oh, I love people to do train builds. I had a friend of mine that his whole basement was a total train build. Roger, you would have loved it. The whole thing, it went through the whole basement. And he did all of it by hand. It was amazing. Unfortunately, he's not with us any longer. God rest him. But oh my God, it was incredible. I love it when people can turn, their talents into a passion. And it was amazing. All the buildings and all the details were all done by hand. And it was one of the greatest builds I've ever seen. Here we have down at our train station. Our train station is huge. And every year they have a model train expo there. And it's amazing what people do. And the stuff that they bring is incredible. It's incredible. So here we're just going to finish this off. Just like the build that Bill did for the vehicles. Incredible. And there you go. Finished window. Now, if you're going to color in the top edges like I did use a brush for those. And that I would just use the tip of a very thin liner brush. Helps if I grab the right brush, right, guys? I'm serving food to people at the moment, so I'm listening and not watching. Okay, so she's not going to be freaking out. So then you just take the very tip of your paintbrush and line the inside to get that inside colored. Contrast, it just matches. You're not doing the outside, you're doing the inside. So it's just that hint of red that will show up when the building lights up. Don't worry if you get a little bit on the black. You just wipe it off really quick with your finger. It comes right off. If not, then you just repaint it a little splotch with black. That's all. There's never truly a mistake. And it's just really quick. This goes really quick. Now see my hand? My hand moved and I made a big boo-boo. See the boo-boo? So I'll just take my finger, rub it over. It's gone. Boo-boo's gone. That's what I'm saying. I'm always covered in paint when I'm painting. Because instead of using, like a rag or something, I use my fingers. Just rub it off. Why, use an extra tool when you get your fingers, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. Let's see. Sounds great. I don't have the space for train layout. It's just amazing. Well, you could do just like a mini layout, Roger. That would work. So I'm just going to finish that off. So, the problem is I don't have my, there. Now maybe I can see. So then I just finished that inside there, all in the red detail. Stark loves you too. I'm the cat whisperer. I love it. Everybody's posting their kitty and dog pictures in the Discord because I'm going to do that page for the magazine. So we're going to put everybody's fur babies in there. That'll be so cool. Steph uses my tongue. Your tongue's not going to fit in the hole, Steph. The hole is too small. Unless you got, the ability to change the shape of your tongue. And then, girl, you got it going on. And then that's some talent right there. Pure talent. That's what you gotta love. I always wanted to put a whole train thing together, but I never really had the room either. I have the room here if I really wanted to, but not for nothing. Some people say that miniatures like this are expensive. Put together a whole train station, man. I'm telling you, it is outrageous. So you really got to think outside the box and come up with alternatives because just anytime you mention miniature and you go into a shop, they jack up the price, 3 times as much. So you always have to think outside the box. Hey, boo, how's it going? You opened up your box. Oh my gosh, it's so intimidating. No, it's not. I'm going to wait a bit to dive into it. At the moment, I actually feel like cleaning my house. Shocker. Oh, yeah, I was already talking about paint. I need to paint so bad. So I was looking, trying to see. My problem is what color, What color do I go with? So I think I decided on the color. Now I just got to come up with the money to buy the paint. I haven't painted my kitchen in a few years, and it desperately needs it. So there we've got that one section. We did that quick. Let me do this other quick window. Oh my God. See, my hands aren't working today. It's the damp. We've had rain. I mean, it's great because all the snow and stuff is going, but it's making havoc with my poor body. Like I said, last night my arms were on fire, and I'm like, oh God, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I just sat here working on stuff and rubbing my arms, praying for some kind of relief. Now, when it gets to be where sometimes it might be a little too small and you can't see, that's where the beauty of the magnifying glass comes in handy. For us old blind chicks. But don't be intimidated, boo. Dive right in. I want to see that. You got the English Garden, right? I think that's what she said. I want to see that one. All right, now that I can see this better, we'll just go cruising right along. Cruising right along. Oh, I forgot. Am I supposed to talk like in the silent tones like I'm Mrs. Bob Ross? So you're going to make a happy little red line. And it's your red line. So, you do it the way you want to do it. Does that work? Or I can go completely off my nutter and like poor Bill. The video from hell. I feel so bad for him. But that's the problem working in mechanics and stuff like that. You don't, and it's like home demolition. You never know what you're going to find when you rip down walls. And it's usually not a good thing. So it always turns into a nightmare. So there, that one is finished. A thing of beauty, and we're just going to let that sit to the side and dry. And then we'll just clean off our tools. Don't ever leave paint sitting on your tools because you really will regret it. Let's cover up this so I don't knock it on the floor because I'm good for that too. I look at something and think I better move that. I'm going to knock it over, and then I knock it over. I don't. It's that's me. That's what I do. One more time, we will all know that talent since stuff licks everything. Yeah, I know. That's why I said if Sheila makes Steph's plushie, she's got to have it where its tongue is sticking out. And put a sucker or something in it. Now, like I said, I use an old bottle, fill it full of water, change the water out, daily if I'm doing painting daily. And then I just pour a little in the cap, roll my brush in it to clean off all of that paint. And then our paintbrush is ready to rock and roll for the next project. And then I just pour that cap of water right back in the bottle. I do that because, like I said, I knock shit over. So I'd be knocking cups of water all over the place because this is a small space. So yeah, that's just asking for trouble is what it's doing. Babu, she's saying I can't fit my tongue in the hole. She's telling me, well, Steph, if you could fit your tongue in that hole, then you need a trophy, girl, because I'm telling you. That's pure talent. So now that we've gotten to that section where we've got all of that taken care of, I am going to move you forward. And you've already seen me. We did the decorating, made it look lovely. I'm going to show you how we constructed the music box. After we start attaching this part to the base. Oh, actually, I forgot. What's wrong with me? We need to do the edges on this part of the building. I'm going to do it really quick. Just to show you again, give a shake of the black paint. Or actually, no. I was thinking black, but I changed my mind actually earlier today. I like the hunter green, so we're going to do it in green. So we've got our green paint, hunter green. It's always nice to have all of these colors on hand. I've got boxes and boxes of paint. So there's no shortage of paint around here. Hey, how's it going, Betty? How are you? So again, I just used the cap as my paint cup. And I've just got a standard small size flat edge paintbrush. And I'm going to be painting this edge in that green. And again, if somebody asks me, what do I use for an anchor? See what I'm doing with my other hand? I'm using my finger as an anchor to hold my hand steady. If I didn't, who knows where this paint will end up. Getting old stuff sucks because I'm telling you, there was a day where I could paint anything, a straight line, complete straight line without my hand moving. It was just not anymore. I've got to have an anchor point. And you see, getting to all those nooks and crannies. Now with the talent that Steph has got, I'm sure she could just give this one swipe with the old tongue and you get full coverage. But see, the green blends in much better than the black. I did black on this one. It's nice with the two different, colors, but I like the green. I think it just gives it a more finished look. Who's popped in? Lou's popped in. Betty, Piggy, Tim. Hey, Tim, how's it going? I don't want to miss anybody. But I can't watch both, so I'm going to keep looking back and forth, guys. So we've got that. And I'm going to have to turn this to my advantage at an angle so that I don't get any paint on that wallpaper, because that would really stink. And the one color I don't have, which I'm out of, is a gray. So I don't want to get any on the gray paint or wallpaper. So that'll be my mission to get myself some gray paint. I used it all, apparently. The hell's the matter with me? I mean, put it this way, I've got so much paint in totes that a lot of it's going dry. But I think once I start the big dollhouse build, um, I'll be tearing into that paint and getting rid of a lot of it because it's a lot of space to cover. So we've got a back section to this. I'm also going to tell you what I did, guys. Oh my God. And I'm telling you, sometimes I just think, holy shit, girl, you are good. Because there was a section here when I was putting this together. It didn't tell me to put in the stained glass on the window. So I ended up with an extra piece of stained glass. I'm thinking, where the hell is that stained glass go? Because silly, that's the videos. He told me that I'm too busy and to rot my brain right now. Your boss let you quit early. Nice, nice. So I'm thinking, okay, where does this piece of stained glass go? And I'm thinking, oh, you got to be kidding me! It goes on the back here. And I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to get that on there? Now, if you notice, there's a color difference. The paint I'm using now, it looks like it's brighter, but when it dries, it's going to be the same color for a screen. It had to go in here. And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. How the hell am I going to get that stained glass in there? Well, there is a little tiny gap on the underside. So I put glue on it, and I used a sharp pointed tool so I could access from inside the tower and a pair of tweezers, and I got that paint. I got that in there. I was like, holy crap, I don't believe I did it. And this is what I'm talking about. And it was a smaller piece of this, and I slid it up under there and got it to glue in place. So I had to give myself kudos for that. Even though nobody would even known, I would have knew. I would have known it would drive me nuts. So sometimes, like I said, always pay attention to the directions. They're not bad directions. It's just that they sometimes forget to mention certain things. So really study the photos, study the pieces, where they go, because they might forget, hey, by the way, you've got to put this stained glass in this piece. And this one didn't say to do it. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's the only place it could go because that's what they were for. So that's what I did. So I'm recovering this one section here that I already painted in black. I want them all green. Turn it around. Do the other side. You're the boss now? All right. Oh, that's right, Tim. Yeah, you retired, didn't you? Tim, you're being a snot. This is because I'm not paying attention to you. He got me with that one. Good for you to get off early. The time change messed me up, guys. I was up so early this morning. And of course, the dog figured, well, she's up. She can take me out. I'm thinking, oh, crap. So I took her out. Then I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, oh, look what time it is. But then I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We had to turn the clocks ahead. So that just totally screwed up my whole day. So I have been messed up all day long. So now we've got all of that done. Let's get those other edges. Don't forget the other edges. And then also, I will take black and line this raw edge here to match with the roof. But I'll save that when I'm off camera. So there you see me. I did that. Let's finish this side. And then we can start. And then I can paint this other piece off camera too. I can show you how we're going to assemble this to the base and run those wires. A friend who does these says the instructions are in Chinese sometimes. Oh, no, no, no. Yes, I have heard that too, and that does stink. So yeah, be careful who you purchase from. And I think that's why there's issues with some of the directions, because I don't know who's making them up, but they're forgetting things. So a lot of the stuff I follow through the photographs. This one set here, I'm very impressed with. The directions were very well done, except for that one section with the stained glass. but everything else is pretty much labeled and telling you what to do and where to put it. And then, of course, there's a lot of things like with the decorating. I stick stuff where I want to stick it. But and some of the kits will have on the floor here, will have spots marked where things go. Like, the archways and the buildings, they have it marked. So it makes it easier for you to put them into position. I find that a big help, but not all kits have that option. Why? I don't know. Like with this one, on the main decking, there wasn't a mark where this building is going to go. So I had to refer to the photograph and then put all the pieces, dry fit the pieces together to see where this building is going to sit. And then I took a pen and I made a couple of light little marks so that I know how to line this up into position. They do challenge you, and it's all right. It's good to be challenged. So there, that one is finished as well. And then we will clean this up, and then we will glue this onto the base. Hey, Karens, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, I think mine is like this one. Aren't any step-by-step instructions on each piece. Just, yeah, go with the pictures. And then if you're still confused, just do what you think is going to work. That's just your best option. Because not everything is going to be 100%. And I found that just looking at the finished photograph on the front of the instructions, that helps a lot. Look at it with a magnifying glass, and you can see where all these small pieces are going to go. And it really does help out, especially when you're lost. Yeah, wing it, right? That's the best that you can do. So there, this one here, I'll finish painting off camera, so you guys don't have to sit and watch me sit there and paint. So, and I noticed I got a little red on this green here. So we're going to have to fix that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and get that second part of the building that I had made up. Be like Bill and hope the leftover pieces aren't important. Oh my God, I know Leanne. Didn't you feel so bad for him? Oh my God, he's got my kind of luck. That is no joke. And then when he, and I felt so happy for him because he got it, was able to fix it and maneuver it and make it work, and then the damn thing blows up on him. So, and I wish I could help more because I know the situation that he and his family are in, and he can't afford to buy those parts. They're so expensive. So I understand why he does what he does. Laura, I do not have a lot of paint. I do have Sharpies. That will work okay for finishing edges. Sure, yeah, you could use Sharpies. If you could get that tip where at a great angle, use the Sharpies. No rule saying that you can't. If you've got the colors and they match, and not for nothing, again, it's yours. It don't have to match. Whatever you think is going to look good. Paint it rainbow colors if you want. Is Bill in here? There's Mr. Bill. I messaged you earlier, sir. I hope everything worked out in your favor today. The best, that you could. Okay, now here on this part of the building, we have a notch. And that's where that group of wires is going to go through. And I'm going to get some glue on my palette. Let me get that out of the way so that we have some glue to work with. How is Bill doing? Were you able to get that whole assembly system at a decent cost? Oh, jeez. So now I'm going to make sure that these group of wires fit into that notch without, messing everything up. I'm going to apply glue to the bottom of this piece. And of course, just like I say, smear it on. Be very ginger. It's kind of like a tack gluing. And I've learned that from many projects, just tack it in place. Because if you do a solid glue down and then you've got to remove it, yeah, that's not good. That's why I always recommend photocopying all of your printed pieces. So if you do mess it all up, well, you got another one to fix it. So I'm going to make sure that I hook those wires into that notch on the back and then drop this down into place. And I only hit that area in 2 spots to glue it in. So now we've got, it's in our notch and it's camouflaged with that gray all the way down. So there, now you only see the, if you want, you could always take another piece of the gray and put another lip over it, which I probably will do, just so it hides that, because I just think it looks more finished, looks better. Let's see, Bill, I felt so bad for you last night. It was a crushing moment. I was swearing for Bill because I know Bill doesn't swear on camera, but I was doing it for you. Especially when I heard that pop, I was like, oh, you got to be effing kidding me. So, yes, Bill, we were rooting for you. But hopefully you got the parts that you needed and you can finish fixing it. I'm going to buy a used one from eBay. This setup was like $250. Wow. Yeah, I figured as much. But then I was also kicking around the idea of the salvage yard, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Is it? Yes, no, Bill? Okay, so now we are going to place our platform down, our covered platform. And let me show you this before I destroy half of the joint here. Let's move this lamp out of the way. Like I was saying with the marks, I made, if you can see, small pen marks that are going to show me where to line up this building on this. Because most of them, kits do have things printed out. Like this one had it on the upper level, which I can show you, where you would put like all right, I don't know why that muted. What the F? Can you guys hear me now? I don't know what the hell happened. It probably said we had enough of her. Shut her up. Shut that woman down. $80 with the motor, so I'm gonna get that. So am I working now? Am I working now? That's good, Bill. $80. Fantastic. So, oh good, we have sound. We have sound. Can you hear me now? So here we're gonna place this unit on here and put it into place, and then of course run the line underneath the rail tracks, and then of course this next section will go into place. Let's see. Yeah, that's good, Bill. That's awesome. But when I was muted, I'm not sure on how that works. If you were able to get, or is it a good idea to get a part like that from a salvage yard? Because I know you do that a lot as well. I mean, just like here, the guys go to Vince's, you pull it, and you save a lot of money going to the salvage yard. Or that's not a good idea for that particular piece. See, I'm not too sure on. I mean, I know some mechanics, but that one I don't know if getting salvaged is a good idea. So now that we have that part glued in, and then I'm going to flip this over and do a dollop on each corner on the bottom of this piece and put it into place. And just have it lined up with the marks on that base that I found. Now this is where a level or a straight edge comes in handy, but I'm eyeballing it And if you want, you can always take your ruler. Oh, see, I hit it and knocked it all over. Line it back up. There we go. Clean up the mess I just made. Pull those wires straight. Now you can take your, if you're going to be anal about it, you take your ruler, do measurements to see if it's going to match up on how far away it is. So this is about almost 1.5 centimeters is my space. So you can check that all the way around if you want to be that anal. Or get a straight edge, like I said, and use that and follow it to make sure that you have the angle that you want. I don't have a straight edge out here. So what I can do is take two rulers to give me that 90 degree. I've got it on the front and I've got it on the back. Not bad for eyeballing. Put your paint in little wells. You don't waste any. I put my paint in the eyedropper bottles. I always just use the cap of the bottle, because then you could just, you shake it, you get just enough in there, and you're not wasting any. And then if you need more, you put the cap back on, shake the bottle again, then you got some more. And I've got all the wells and all the little doohickeys that you would put paint in, but you find you waste a lot. So this way, if it's just in the cap, you're not wasting any. Excuse me. I've even had some where I've had actually like syringe type bottles where I could just squeeze a little paint out, but I find just shaking the bottle and using the cap works the best, because then you're not wasting any at all. I said anal because I can be anal when it comes to this stuff. Bill knows. He feels it. Let's see. Already in eyedrop bottles, you can get empty ones. I also put excuse me, ball bearings in the bottles as they help to mix the paint. Yes, that's a great idea. Yes. It's also a good idea that when you do have a large supply of paints, like you get the small bottles like these, rotate them because they separate. So like say you got them like this maybe for about a month or so, flip them upside down. Rotating keeps them mixed up and it helps with they don't dry, because they'll dry out if you don't keep them mixed. Eye drops or 8 bottles, it's a good idea. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You always got to think outside the box. It's a good thing, Laura. So you can get that part from the salvage. So of course I know this time of year the salvage yards are a mess. So it probably is easier just to order. And you got a great deal. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You got a great deal with that. So let's see. This we've got to put in our track. This line is going to go straight. It has to go underneath the track. Make sure you got the right end, because you want the end that's going to slide out. Or there's that notch. You want that to line up. So we've got to line this up. I got to line up that hole with that notch. And then, see, that's why I only put a little dollop of glue on that, so that it is in place and secure. And then what I'm going to do now is glue down the train tracks so that those be in place for our next section. And then we'll be working on the music box. So yeah, that's great though. So at least something turned out good. How did you get the other car started though? So that you have a vehicle for the week? Because I know you guys are you need the 2 vehicles. See, that's a blessing that you have. You have a big long gash on my hand. I don't know what the hell I did. It's hard when you have to have 2 vehicles. Of course, Bill lives out in the country, so the 2 vehicles are very important to get everybody where they got to go. Now you're going to line this track up. Make sure those wires are stretched out and out of the way. This is where you got to use all your fingers. Fingers and toes if you have to. Line up that hole. And then put that into place. Making it nice. And then there's a little post that goes down in here, which we will install. But we've got the track down. And this track will pull out, in and out for the train. Yep, got the stop. Oh, good, you got it running. Awesome. That's great, though. Okay, so now we are going to refer to our instructions. And our instructions say that we have this little knob that goes in this section here. And of course, that would be this bad boy. Try to keep everything that comes in the kit in the original bags, so that you know when they're referring to, like, this is in bag E and it's number 5, then you'll know this is the bag. If you don't, then you're like, okay, where the hell does this go and where did it come from? So we're going to hold that down. That goes in there. And we have to glue that in place. I always do dry run. It's very good to do the dry run. And I'm just making sure I've got the right friggin' parts. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Paste above. Plate A1 shown above. And that's the only one that I've got of that. So that is that. So I'm going to have to glue that into place. Hey, Jay, how's it going? How are you? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read instructions, look at what the hell I'm doing. Now, this is up a little bit. You're going to find that a lot of these pieces, some of them can be warped. That causes issues. You just got to work with it. There's really not much you can do about it. So when you've got something that is warped a little bit, I heavily glue it and then hold it in place or weight it down until it dries. And that helps with warping. I mean, there's, this is thin wood. It's not top of the line stuff. So there's going to have those issues. That's just a given. So this one here, that's not staying down because it's warped a little bit. And then I'm going to take some glue and place it down into the area where I am going to put this little knob. And then I'm going to push that into place. And then hold that down just a little bit until it sets still, until it sets up a little bit. Men never read instructions. That's why things don't come out right. Jay. I know. I get that from my husband. Oh, you're going to read that. Well, yeah, and then you get pissed off because it don't come out and then you smash it with a hammer. That's, yeah. Even if you're not reading it, look at the pictures. It's really not that hard. Not that hard. But that's just, is it a guy thing? I don't know. It must be a guy thing. Okay, so now we're going to put on that second part of the platform. And the wires are going to be going up through this section of the platform. It's going to go up and through there because it's going to lead out into the back part where the electrical system is going to be hooked up. So we got to take our wires and feed them through that hole. And let me make sure I've got the right spot. Yes, I do. This is this one here. So then I'm going to take these wires and thread them through. And it's the beautiful thing is the ends are still on the casing is still on there, so it makes it easier to feed it through the holes. And then you're going to take this section and drop it over that post that we just glued in. And that's where that's going to go. Pull that wire all the way through. Make sure you've got everything seated the way you want it before you glue it down. Because, like I said, once it's in there, it's in there. I like to move it around, manipulate the best that I can, straighten stuff out. And I think we are good to go. I think I can get that so it's straight. I want that straight. We don't want crooked. So that's how that's going to go. So then we just take our thin craft knife. I'm going to lift this section. Let's see, a hammer is the best tool ever to fix everything. That and duct tape, Jay. That and duct tape. So now I'm going to run a bead underneath that front edge. It's more like just tacking it down. Then I'm going to lift it up and do it on this side. And drop that into place. Making sure that it is leveled up where it needs to go. Make sure everything is straight and then push it into place. And we've got our wires up and out of the way. So that's set for a bit. And then we're going to show you the section with the music box. And I'm going to lift this up gently and get it out of our way. Praying to Jesus that it doesn't flop over and bust all up. That's all I can hope for. And I'm going to get those pieces out to make the box for our music box. And this is what I was working on while Bill was working on his stuff. And then we have, these are wall sections that are going for the music box. So as you see, I've wallpapered them, installed the window, the outer side, inner side. Same thing here, inner, out, and it's the inside where the music box is going to go. But then we had this section here, which is made up of two pieces. This is where our music box is going to be going. And here's the little hinges that I had to install last night. Can we see them? Can we see them? Little tiny screws. Gotta love it. Be prepared for that, boo. The little tiny screws. Sometimes they give you this little tiny screwdriver. Ugh. If you can get yourself a small Phillips head screwdriver. This one happens to be a Craftsman. And it is a 00 by 2-1 half. So it's a 2.5, 0.2.5 is what it is. So that's the small size you're going to need. This is magnetic. Make sure it's magnetic because these little screws, once you drop them, that's it. You're screwed. I get it. But I love this one because I can apply pressure to the top and still turn the shaft to tighten up or loosen up my screws. So this is a blessing. It really is. And I do have multiple other ones, but this one is my favorite. And it helps put those little hinges on, and so that door is going to open and close. This is where the supply line is going to be in your control box. This one here, I had an issue. Now, they already pre-mark and pre-drill the holes for the screws, for the hinges. And I think they're too tight, but I couldn't adjust them. So I had to, because this wasn't sitting flush. It was bowing up. So I had to sand the inner track on both of these to get this to sit correctly. Little tweaking here and there. Laura keeps distracting me from taking my meds. Okay, we'll just sit here, Leanne. You can take your meds, I promise. Take your meds, Leanne. That's right. Of course, I should talk, right? Oh, gauge and duct tape. That's right, duct tape. That is the best tool going, man. Don't screw it up, Laura. Yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Mike, oh. Shrink me and live in there once it's done. Susan, I have 4 other ones. You could live in any one of them if you can fit. She's going to turn into a borrower. One of my favorite series, The Borrowers. And not the new one with John Candy or whatever how it was his name. I like the original with Ian Holmes. That's the one, my favorite. And I have it on VHS, all the entire series. I can't get it on DVDs because it's English made and they don't have it converted to the United States, so it won't play on our machines. So all I have is the VHS tapes, which stinks because I could watch that over and over and over again. Such a fun movie to watch. So now we are going to put together this box. And then I'm going to show you how to install the music box. The music box is in here. Let me get her out. There it is in its little bag. Toy electronic trains. North tiny electric train size. HO commonly used like train sets and run on tracks and homes. Leanne, do you put together trains? Do you collect trains? But here is that's what Leanne should put some trains together. So there's our music box. And then in here we have our hardware and the knob. Keep it in the bag till you're ready to use it, because if you're like me, you're going to lose it. And yeah, try to find this stuff, especially when it drops on carpet. That's a big time sucko. So we're going to put together our box. And what it tells us first to do, which I'll put the directions right here in front of my face, is take this piece with the hinges, flip her over, and install the music box. And make sure you follow where it's supposed to go, because each one of these holes has a specific purpose. So make sure you've got it going on. And of course, you've got the post for the winder. You're going to put that through the large hole. And then it's telling us to flip it over, because that's how you're going to screw it in and attach the winding knob. Make sure that your holes are aligned correctly. And this is where the fun begins. Get out our beautiful screwdriver. And I dump our hardware onto the directions. So they're right here in my face. And then I'm going to pick up one of our screws. This one is too small. I need a bigger screwdriver, y'all. I need a bigger screwdriver. Do I have a bigger screwdriver out here? My bad. I didn't check that before we started. No, that's a rasp. We can't use that. All right, guys. You know what? I'm going to have to go get a bigger screwdriver. Will you shove me in it? Because, I mean, this might work. Yeah, this might work. It's a little loose, but if I'm ginger with it, I won't strip it. Thanks, Leanne. I only have Hornsby trains, and I've seen them in one size here. I wish my IKEA instructions were as clear as that. Yeah, furniture instructions sucked. Roger, I'm telling that, no joke. Whenever we got any furniture that we've had to put together, I had to do it because my husband has zero patience. Zero. So most of the stuff that had to be assembled, I did it because he would get frustrated because the instructions were crap, and then he'd get pissed and start beating stuff with the hammer. And I said, well, you're gonna bust it up, and then we wasted money. My dad collected trains. It's an old train set made in the 40s, 50s from Europe. Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool, Mike. Okay, we're going to attach this first. Let me line that up first. Let me put the winding. Try not to do it crooked. You don't want to cross thread it, because then it won't work. Try to keep it as level as possible. That's where fingernails come in handy. Don't over tighten it. Do not over tighten it. Now let's take our screws, magnetic, love it, and find where it's got to go. One there. Hold it steady. And Just slowly wind that in. Never tighten everything down all the way until you've got everything in. I can get it in there. I need to turn it to my advantage. That's the problem. I'm yakking, telling you what to do, and I'm not getting it to where it's got to go. Yeah, they must be awesome. They're worth a fortune. Don't let anybody play with them. I love it when you find old stuff like that, old toys and stuff like that. It's just awesome. Okay, let me get this turned back around. Oh, you turd. All thumbs, all thumbs. Let me find there we go. Lining up the holes. Let me get that turned. There it is. There it is. I see it now. Put that screw in place. Are they still boxed up, Mike, or do you guys have them set up somewhere? That would be just really cool. I'm going to use my fingers to get them started. Oh, it's playing music already and I didn't even turn it on. All right, there. So now I'm going to slowly turn that one in. See what I see? The beauty of this, I'm putting the pressure on the top of the screwdriver and I can still turn and get that to go where it's got to go. One of the best screwdrivers ever. Of course, I got this one, Craftsman tools meant something. They're not American made anymore. Of course, what is, right? Roger, be a man. Throw the instructions away. You'll get there after a few days of anger. Yeah. Just follow the picture. You'll figure it out. Like when we had our son and we got the baby swing, and my husband, oh my God, I thought for sure that was going to end up a crumpled pile of metal. I says, okay, just leave the room. I'll take care of it. You're going to smash it up even before we get to use the stupid thing. So there. Now I've got them all in. Now I can snug them down. Snug, snug, snug. My brother keeps them in an oxidation-free container. Oh, that's what keeps their value. Oh, beautiful. That's nice. It's nice to have that stuff. Not many people have that luxury of being able to have stuff like that. Who knew? When you're growing up, same thing like us. Like, who knew? Like Star Wars and all that stuff, all those miniatures and things would be worth money someday. No, we used to play with them. Or original Barbie dolls. Never thought that original Barbie dolls would be worth like $10,000. Well, people just don't think that way. You know what I mean? So there, we have it connected, guys. Let's see. Oh, let me turn it a little more. There, yay! Okay, so now we're going to put the rest of the walls together. We have music box. Alrighty. Now, let's see. We're going to take I see where this goes. We have this as an outside wall with a window. And then, of course, our decorative wall with that little picture. Beautiful scenic picture. And we have two places here that we have to put them in. Another beef I have actually with these kits is, look at the posts. Those are square. Look at the hole. Round. Square peg and a round hole. I mean, come on, really? So what I usually do is take a large utility knife or crafting knife, and I kind of shave those posts a little bit. So it makes it easier for them to slide down into that spot, because otherwise, if you force this, they'll snap off. I've had it happen. So you learn. Oh, I like the music box. It tickled me. Isn't it cute? I'm so glad this one came with a music box. I mean, all the other ones you can order music boxes for them, and I was going to for some, but I didn't like the songs they played. seeing that some of them are, most of the buildings I did were like haunted castles or witchy type things, and you want kind of like some creepy music. Those are very hard to find. So now we've got that set. I like to take some glue, put it down in the hole that peg has got to go into. Oh my, it's like a blonde Pollock made that. I'm not shitting you. Square pegs, round hole. I don't know why they do it, but that's the way the machine punches it out. So just, word of warning, if you think it's going to be an issue, which usually is, just shave the posts a little bit. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. And then you can put them down in there. And then, of course, make sure you apply the pressure above where that peg is. Support that wall all the way to the bottom. Gently push. And let's see if we can get them in there. You might have to start off at an angle a little bit. And they're going in, but it's tight, guys. It's tight. Come on, you can do it. And it's very, very tight. So if you can, and of course I don't have the little hammer out here, I'll have to get that for next time. I'm just going to use a heavy duty, the flat edge of the pliers I've got here. A little bit of a tap, just to help it on its way. Don't get too carried away, because you could damage the wall here. You don't want to have that happen. Slide that in. It's not going. I got to trim it a little bit more on this one. Too tight. Or you could also, the wall, even though you got glue in there, don't worry about it. Kind of like rasp out a little bit of that edge. Do a little trim. You do what you can to make it fit. I've got all kinds of stuff popping up and making noises. Hopefully we're still going. He never said that. Sorry. Hey, Julie, how's it going? How is Julie today? It's warming up here, Julie. How about on your end? Reapply some glue in that section. Let's get this bad boy in there. Doing that with the nails is brave. I hardly have any after this weekend. Oh, the nails help. It really does. I know, because I've had a few people ask me, how don't they get in the way? No, they help hold stuff down. Oopsie, that little bit'll do you. I did it. Kapow. We have connection. So now we have a wall put together. Check to see if you've got that 90-degree angle. It really makes a difference. It really does. So I'm going to put that ruler in there, and I see it is off by a ball hair, as some guys would say. Now I've got that 90-degree angle. I'm going to let that set for a second before we attach the second piece. While we're waiting for that, on the outside of this, we can flip this around. And it's telling us to attach lanterns to either side of those windows. So let's find our lanterns, which are on the painted piece that they gave us with all of the little trinkets. Stay where you are. Don't fall over on me. I need a bigger space or less crap, put it that way. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Oh, Susan's off and running. Laura, we're just getting spicy in the chat. Yeah, I know, Susan. What's up? But Susan's got to go to work. Susan gets up before the chickens, man. Okay, so it's asking for D73. So we find D73, which are these fancy bad boys right here. Just pop them out. I love these better than the wooden pieces that you have to either apply a sticker. The stickers, I think, was the worst experience I had because they wouldn't stick. You had to apply glue anyway. So it was actually a waste of time. Now, the end that we have to stick to the building, if you can see there, that's where it was attached. So we have to file that down. Otherwise, it's not going to sit flush on the building. So take your handy dandy fingernail file, sand those down. And I've got a nice flush surface to glue to the building. It helps. It really does. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We have an indoor range across the highway from our neighborhood. I missed what Pinky said. What did Pinky say? Is Pinky going? Hey, Nightmare Nation, how's it going? Wow, good to see you. Holy mackerel, knocked me over with a feather. How are you doing? Excuse me. Is she going target practices or something? Yeah, it's been like forever and a day since I saw Nightmare Nation. How's it going? Good to see you. Laura, you're gonna lose it under your fingernail. Nah, I actually cut them down, guys. I had to. They were they were getting a little too long. It's pretty. It gets rough when you're trying to pick your nose and you're poking yourself on your brain, right? Especially like the pinkies and stuff. They were like really long, and I'm thinking, oh god, people are gonna think they're Coke nails, so I shorten those bad boys up. So let's see. Okay, they want us to glue one over in this area above, like the beginning of the arch, on each section. Oh, this one's on the further end. This one's at the furthest end. So let's get a little glue. A little dabble do ya. A little dabble do ya. Yeah, I've been away for a while. Well, you just like disappeared, man. We were going to send out the rescue squad. But I'm glad that you popped in. It's so good to see you. I hope you're well and everything's going great. So now, this one we're placing right above the window. Now, if you have issues with holding on, like I got nails, I can hold on to it. If not, just use your tweezers. Put it into place. Hold it there for that little bit until that glue starts to set up. Make sure it's straight. Nothing worse than a crooked lamp. Of course, if this is like a creaky, spooky thing, crooked's okay because crooked's creepy. You know what I mean? I can see George now going, why is there light coming from their left nostril? I know. I pierced my own nose. So, but yeah, no, I don't think this is a good look for me. I tried it with a magnetic nose ring, and I feel let me see what it looks like before I poke a hole in my nose. Nope, did not look good on me. So I said, well, we're not going to do that. So, in other words, if you have a hard time holding it in place, just flick it somewhere and move on. That's do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Crooked lamps, flashlights. Yeah, you gotta, you don't always gotta follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so on this one, yes, it's right by that edge. Try to eyeball it, line it up with the other one, and put it into place. So there we go. That one's a little crooked. We'll straighten it out. Like I said, fingernails come in handy. Yeah, my life has been crazy. You've just been mad busy, huh? I would check in every now and then to see what's going on, but you've been quiet, so I'm so glad that you come to hang out with us. So how did it make a 2D lamp look 3D? The piece is really thick here. As you can see the thickness of this here? And then, of course, it's just that detailed photograph. I know, guys, I got to work on getting a better camera. This camera really blows chunks. It's so blurry, and I want it to be, but you can see the photograph that they put on here, print on here, it just looks amazing. And then sometimes they'll have two pieces to make up one unit, and then it'll give you that 3D effect. It's pretty cool. It really is. Let's see. Yeah, I guess. At least it's not boring. Yeah, well, yeah. It's like life's keeping them on toes. Okay, so now we're going to add the inside. Now that this is set up a bit, and of course, don't I hit the lamp? Hey, Lori, a touch hole. Knock it off. So there we go. Straighten that out. Now we're going to move to the inside and put on the single panel that we need to put on there. Did I do that panel? Probably not. Now we're going to have to glue it on. Oh, let's not skip this part. Because I'm skipping ahead on you guys. The inside wall here. We have stuff we got to put in there. What the hell's the matter with you, Laura? So we've got to find a photograph that goes where they have the photograph marked. And then we have 2 storage racks that we made up that we've got to put in there. So the rack 19. Who's got rack 19? Oh, I see what it is. D19. Oh, it's a frame. We're framing out the photograph. Nice. Nice. Now, seeing it's a gold frame, guess what that means? We're going to paint it. Because I'm not going to have it not painted. Even though you're not going to see it, but I got to get rid of that rough edge. Painting this will just take a quick second. I've got to paint those edges. What do I do with that gold paint? Where is it, guys? Where's the gold paint? Who knows what the hell I did with it? Well, can't find it, so we're not painting shit because I can't find it. Okay, so we're going to attach this gold frame to that photograph. Again, cleaning off the edge of my knife. And as usually I got to say, don't do as I do. Bad girl. I always use my nail to clean it off. Because you do have a tendency you could slip. Like yesterday when I was cooking, I almost stabbed myself in the wrist with my cooking knife. Good times. My hand slipped and the point was like jammed me right in the wrist. I'm like, oh, nice. I almost slit my own wrist while making, what the hell was I making? Chili. That's what I was doing. And it slipped. Don't know what the hell was up with that. Okay, now this one here, seeing it sits flush to the wall, I'm going to use my metal wide curved tweezers. Grab it from the top section so that I can drop that over that photo. Now, this has a marking, so it shows you where you line it up. And that's what we're going to do. Line it up, and there you go. Framed photo. Voila. Easy peasy. I'm working on doing more investigations. I have others that I might have posted mostly because I was male presenting during those days. And if I make new ones right after that, it'll be weird. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think anybody that knows you knows what was going on. So, you're being true to yourself. And you just go out there and you do your thing. We know who you are. Starfield screensaver. Let's see. I got a problem with mine. I put the screensaver I want because I like Star Trek. And I have a Star Trek screensaver. And then when I go back on there, it changes it. The computer changes it on me. And I'm like, what the is this shit? I don't want to look at no desert terrain. I want to look at spaceships and Captain Picard. Bill, wait until Laura starts singing. Singing, what do you want me to sing? I want Bill to sing as Arnold. Okay, so now I've got my little box of goodies in front of me. And I'm going to put up those 2 racks that we need to put up on that wall. And we have... Let me find our little racks. Who's got the little racks? They're in here somewhere. I know they are. Okay, there's rack 1. And I've got rack 2. And they're also calling for a handbag. Oh, and that's the empty bag that we made, which is in the baggie on the table. So that's where I'll find that. I can't drop that box because I'll be screwed. Yeah, I'm hoping to do a few around my area soon that I never got to do before. That'd be awesome. And if you get them done and get some stuff put out there, we should have you on the show again and do an interview. I mean, it's up to you if you don't mind. I always like to have people back and get caught up on what they've been up to. All right, let me get And it's been a hot minute. You were like one of my first guests. So that would be awesome to have you back on. And here is our little handbag. One of the handles is a little loose, guys, a little wobbly. So I'm going to take a little touch of glue and reattach that. It got damaged being in the baggie. So a little dab of glue, touch that tip on there. Let's fix this bad boy. And I'm just going to gently push that with my finger, let that set up before I attach it to the wall. But we have our little racks that we made up. See, a little tiny shelf with all of its little jars. That glare is just awful. Just awful. I'm blind and can't see a goddamn thing. Can I turn this away? I'm trying to make it so that it's not so much of a glare. There we go. You kind of sort of see. It's really ticking me off. I really need a different camera. Okay, again, look, guys, square peg, round hole. All right, I don't know what the deal is in China, but somebody needs to explain to them. Square peg, square hole works much better. So I'm going to rasp out the holes and then shave the pegs. Do a little shaving. Let's see. Maybe you and Dawson can revisit Steve. Look forward to seeing new investigations too. Yes, we're all looking forward to it. I know you've had things going on, but you've been quiet too long. Get out there and do your thing. I miss screensavers these days. The monitor just turns off. I collected a screensaver, Stephen King, 13th, and many movies. Yeah, well, mine is just Star Trek. And I don't ask for much. Cheza! How is Cheza doing? How you doing, Cheryl? Are you still doing your minis? Are you posting photos? I didn't see any new ones. This is addicting. It really is. Because I'm thinking, what am I going to do with all this shit now? Yard sale. I don't know. Yard sale. Do something. Gotta make money to buy new ones. I love putting them together. And now we are going to apply that little bit of glue so that this is going to stick to the wall surface. Make it nice. Do that smear again. Congrats, Chessa, on your license. Nice. How are you doing there, Dolly? How are you doing? So now we are going to, hopefully, and see that we can't use table pressure. Well, we could probably right here. Yeah, I'm going to have to kind of slide this off to the side a little bit. And let me grab that. Move this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've adjusted it to be beneficial for me. And then we're going to put it right over that space. Hold it in place with my nail. And then press in the center. And there, that shelf just pops right in. Pops right in. Now let's check to see if it is level. I keep forgetting to bring in my little mini level. So I'm going to check with my ruler. Can you guys see? Make sure my ruler is straight so that I can straighten out the shelf. And it needs to be kicked up just a little bit. A lot of times you can eyeball it. And there we go. We have a straight shelf. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Just shave that post so that it goes into the hole. Chez's birthday's coming up. I am, but I have to wait until my birthday for the new one. It's on Tuesday, and I only had only 2 days. Oh, she's counting it down. I know it's terrible. When I do this stuff, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I don't want to get too far ahead, but I want to be far enough ahead so that you guys can see the progression. But I just want to just tear right into it and do it. And I got to hold myself back. Because if I didn't, this would already be done and on a shelf. I could sit in here for hours and do this. It's just, oh, it's so relaxing and addicting at the same time. So I always try to find ones that have multiple rooms and are a little more complex. So it makes, work to the treat. And let me turn this around with the tweezers and then get it into place. And then push right over that center mark to push it into place. And then I'm going to straighten it out with my fingernail. That one's not working so well. So let's get our pliers, so that I can turn it better. I don't want to break off the end. A little bit more. Be very careful because pliers will leave marks. So you don't want to be too rough with it. There we go. Now we have another straight shelf. Ta-da! I feel like the girls on, what the hell is that? The Price is Right, where they, the models. Your shelf, Sarah. Oh my God, Laura, you aren't wrong. I have 5 notebooks complete so far, and I'm trying so hard not to open the new. Yeah, I'm telling you, because it sucks you in. It's the devil. It's the devil. But it's fun. Okay, our purse should be ready to rock and roll and hang up on the wall. They just have a little white dot here. Apparently, that's where it's supposed to go. I am going to look at the photograph through the magnifying glass to see if there's a peg or something that I'm supposed to install. And it says 7mm. G9. G9. Let's see what the hell they're talking about. G9. We go to the G bag. Each bag is numbered of G through 9 through 11. They're talking about the wire. They're not, nope, they have no peg for that to be sitting on. So I am just going to glue it to the wall because they're not being specific. So it's just going up there. Now I could, if I wanted to, take a scrap piece of wood and make a peg for this purse to hang on, which would be probably a little more authentic than just gluing it to the, that's what I'm going to do, because that's kind of stupid, just gluing it to the wall, right? So I've got this piece of wood here, a black piece of scrap, and I am going to cut myself a peg and put it on the wall. I mean, who does, you just don't stick it to the wall. It kind of looks stupid, don't you think? See, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. When you get your purse at home, you just glue it to the wall. So there, I just cut off a little section. I'm going to file it down. Oh, Laura, that's really cool. The new one has bloody floating ghosts. I'm like a kid at Christmas. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's cool. So we're going to file that section so that it is flush. And again, I'm using my fingernails to assist me. And I just painted my nails today too, and they're already messed up. Oh well, the struggles of a girl, right? It's all right. We'll just put some more new crap on them. What the heck? They'll be messed up by the end of the week anyway. Okay, so now that's where the bent tweezers come in handy, because now it's giving me the angle I need to attach this to the wall. And of course, we won't be able to put the purse on there until this dries. And I just dropped it. So that tells you I know what the hell I'm doing, right? There we go. I'm going to attach this. And then turn the wall piece up on its side so that that post doesn't fall or move. We're going to let that set a little bit before we glue the purse onto it. Oh, let's see. I got to run. Have a good evening. Okay, Mike, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Is the black pearl not fixable, or is it? Oh, well, the black pearl there. That's the me. I was just explaining earlier. My hand blows right up when I'm using the pliers and the metal nippers. So I got to do a little bit at a time. So I'm taking a break from it because believe it or not, my hand is still. You can't tell. Yeah, can you see it? See the puffy? That's not supposed to be there. I'm still waiting for that to go down. And it's very painful just to touch. So I'm going to wait until this is all back to normal. And then I'll do a little bit at a time and then just, share pictures with everybody because it's a hot mess. I didn't think that I would have that issue. Um, I mean, I kind of did in the back of my mind, but I was ignoring it because that's why I don't make jewelry or leather products anymore because of the tools that I have to use. It was beating the crap out of me. So that's why I stopped making jewelry and leather bags, which really sucks because I really enjoyed making the leather purses and stuff. And I can't, the sewing. I did all the sewing by hand. And it's really hard to pull a needle through leather. And I didn't use thread, I was using sinew. Um, so it's stronger. I wanted to make the leather pieces strong. And it was like single over the shoulder strap type bags. So it's just big enough for like your cell phone and your keys. Simple. And then, you put it over your shoulder. And you don't have to worry about anybody running by, grabbing it, trying to rip it off you because they couldn't. Because the sinew is strong. They would end up dragging you down the street before the thing would break. That's what I was producing. Um, they were doing pretty well too. I was selling them in the North Country and some of the Adirondack shops. But it's just, yeah, you got to puncture, the leather to make the holes for the stitching, and it just got to be too much. Yes, if Cheza shows up for the morning brew on Tuesday, we will sing happy birthday to her. I sing happy birthday. And I must have a hole in my lip because I just took a sip of my coffee and it ended up on my shirt. First day with new lips. They sound awesome, Laura. Yeah, I only make the bags now by special request, which isn't very often because it depends on how my hand is. Um, but they did really well. Everybody liked. I liked it because that's what I use. I'm a purse junkie, and I have all kinds of purses. My favorite is the small one that I just stuff my phone in and the keys, and I'm out the door. I don't, I come to after my purse was robbed years ago when I worked in a florist shop. Some asshole come off the street, used our bathroom, and helped himself to my wallet. And after that, I realized that I don't need to be carrying all this garbage. So that's when I got rid of carrying. And if we go away for a week, then I'll bring the big purse. But otherwise, it's just that small bag that's over my shoulder, over my head. And it's a crossbody. And all you need is because everybody uses debit cards now. So you're not carrying cash and your keys. What do you need to have all that other crap? You don't need it. Like my sister. My sister carries a bag. She thinks there's a dead body in it, for crying out loud. Have you seen any videos by Nerd Forge? She makes amazing. No, I haven't. Nope. When I get into the big dollhouse, I got to get it up here, guys, and set up for it because it's going to take up this whole table. And then I could show you some of the furniture that I made once long ago. It actually is very fun to make that stuff. So yeah, if you if you show up morning brew, I don't do it on Tuesdays, so it'll have to be Monday tomorrow. Because Tuesday Sarah does a morning show, so I don't want to get in on her show because we do it about the same times. So I do Mondays, she does Tuesdays. Got to keep it fair. Ooh, look at that! I just took it out. Good thing it's stuff strong, huh? I just took it out. Look at her. She's real inspiring. I'm sure. I love watching people do that stuff. It is really amazing. Not for nothing, I have stuff where I can make it out of stuff out of acrylic and stuff like that. Because I used to make keychains and stuff like that. I was thinking about doing some raw side stuff in acrylic. You could do that with miniatures. Also, I used to make a lot of things with clay with the miniatures, like the little teapot sets and all of that. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. Okay, we got our purse. We're going to let that set a little bit and set up. And then I have this next wall that I have to do. And I thought I made that one, but apparently I was smoking something that day because I don't see it. So let's move this out of the way because I have to find that piece. And I'm going to set that over here on the other table and go through our stack of wood to find 293. And it is neutral wood, so let's find 293. 293 is what I'm looking for. It would be on this one, I believe. Or I could be lying. I don't know. Let me see what this is. This is a piece that fell out. That's 298. I'm looking for 293. Should be here. There it is. I have found it. Eureka. So you're going to see me put this together. There it is. 293 right there on that palette. Give it a little wiggle wiggle. It drops right out. File down those edges. Give that a quick once over. Also, just a reminder, when you're filing, be very careful because you'll end up doing it too much and then you're going to cause yourself a problem. Just enough to take that little bump off. And then we have to cover this wall section in 5-5. I have two numbers here. Oh, I see, said the blind man. I'm trying to think of what section this goes in. This is turned this way. Yes. This is the way that's going to turn. So we're going to be attaching this to this. So I need 5-6 to cover this one section here and 5-5 to cover this piece. So let's get that section. I think that's set up where it won't fall off. If it does, we will just put it back on. And then I'm going to get the pieces that I'm looking for, which is right there. I see it. I don't even need the number because I recognize it. It's got all those pretty little pictures on it. Drop that back over there. Try doing a hand stretches to warm up your hands and get them ready for work. Yeah, that, and I do a lot of massage on my hands. I think I have, I'm not sure. I haven't had it checked yet. I know I have regular arthritis, but I'm thinking because of the research I've done, I might have rheumatoid arthritis in those, in the middle knuckle. Because it's both hands. I'm having issues with the same knuckle, and just to touch the skin over those areas is painful. And that's one of the signs. So I'm like, great. And I'm going to eventually have to go because it will destroy the joint. So, but just doing this, very, very painful. Thanks, Pinky, for posting that. Yeah, check out the merch. Get a calendar. Get yourself a mug. Coffee hag mug, man. Get that hag mug. Okay, let's see where this goes. And of course, they couldn't have made it easier and attached the smaller piece on this side, then I can glue the whole thing down in one shot. No, why would we do that? I don't know. So we have to separate it. very carefully, pop that free. If you get a little edge there that shows up white, you could always take your scissors and just nip that off so it doesn't show when you glue it in place. Up to you. You don't have to be that anal. But it will show up. It's annoying. So just do that little nip. Little nip nip. You don't have to, you can use little nipper scissors or whatever. Yeah, buy some of Laura's stuff, please. I'm in need. Buy some of my. I'm like begging, right? Get out my cardboard sign, stand on the corner. Okay, so this is that section where that small piece is going to go. Get that leftover glue that we got there. Edges are very important. Just ask Cheza. If you don't get those edges, the stuff will curl up. And then you're pissing and moaning because it's not sticking. Excuse me. And then I'm choking to death. I'm drinking cold coffee, guys. Whoa, cold coffee. So I needed a little more glue. And I'm just going to smear it on with the knife. Or you could use the edge of the ruler, which works fabulous. I'll show you. You just take that edge, run it down there, and it makes it an even flow. Scrape the edge off so you don't have it all over the place. But it helps cover all of the area that you need. Works great. Now you're going to line this up. Can you guys see? Can you see? No, you can't see. With the flip, Laura, we can't see. And you're going to line that corner up. Don't push it completely into place because you want to be able to move it around. Make sure you got it in the right spot. And then just let it drop on its own is usually what I do. Until I know it. See, because now we have a little spot up there. We need to slide it up. Slide that into place. Check, 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 check. And there we go. We've got where everything is covered. And then, of course, you take your ruler, run it up lightly, help spread out that glue so that you get a smooth, complete finish. No bubbles. You know, kind of like contact paper. When you had bubbles, you used to make a little X in it with a razor blade and work it out with your finger. Kind of like the same thing. Laura, what about a compression sleeve glove? They can help with drainage of swelling and help. I do have one glove that I used to wear when I had carpal tunnel issues, but it did cover all the way up to the top of my hand. I should look for that and put it on. Thanks, Cheza, for the reminder. I know, getting old stinks. I'm not even old, and my body's older than me. Mods and Chan, I'm afraid I'm going to have to bid you all a good night nearly. Yes, good night, Roger. Thanks for hanging out. And once you get space, Roger, get that train stuff going because we'd love to see that. Love to see the train stuff. Okie dokie dookies. Now I'm going to put on this piece here. I'm going to use what's left on my palette of the glue because I don't want to waste. Put that on there. Smear, smear, smear. And then I'm just going to take the bottle directly and hold my little tabs in place and do kind of like a circular motion at an angle, tipped angle. Get a little extra glue on there so then I can just take the ruler, smear it out, cover the whole surface in one whack. You know what I mean? Whack away. So can you see? And then I'm just going to smear it in place, scrape the edge, get that glue on there. Kabam! Flip it over, do the same on the other side. If I can hold it. Cover all of those naked spots. You don't want no naked. It's just like butter. You know what I mean? Like butter. Put that extra glue on there. There we go. And don't worry about it being on that. When it dries, this beauty is plastic, peels right off. Easy cleanup. So then again, you're dropping that one edge down, corner to corner there. Use your fingers as a guide. Kind of guides it into place. So it's kind of like sliding into first base, you know what I mean? And then slowly push it into place. This is actually a little bigger than the piece. Interesting. That's okay. There's a reason for the madness, I guess, huh? Slide it in where you want it. There we go. Run your finger down. Take the other edge, not with the glue on it, because then you'll be really pissed off. Smooth that out. Make it purty. Make it flat. Run that, and if you have to, put it down on the table. Helps give it a little pressure. Gets that extra glue evenly distributed. Don't do a lot of pressure because you'll rip a hole in it and then you'll be swearing. You'll be doing that swear thing. Okay, and then we're going to be putting this into place. Again, square holes. These are oval holes, square pegs. So we only need to scrape it a little bit there. Careful, I just cut that picture a little bit. That's all right. That's because we have overhang. I don't know why there's overhang, but I guess we're going to find out, huh? When it butts up against the wall. Let's see. It's okay, Roger. Get some sleep. It's late. I appreciate you guys staying up late to hang with us. Show a little love, hanging out. I know the weather's getting good here. It's a bit muddy now, so I'm hoping it holds because I want to get out myself. I want to do some filming, check out some of the cemeteries that we caught the other day. And of course, once Bill, all of his woes are over, I'm going to hang with Bill and we're going to go do some adventures, I hope. Never swear during a show. That's right. Never effing swear during a show. Okay, now this was going to be a bit of a pain in the cheeks. I'm going to do it this way, and it's probably not a good idea. No, I better hold on to it because I'm going to break something. This has to be pushed into place. And of course, because we have the square peg deal going on here, I'm going to have to hold it in midair because we have pictures and stuff on the other side. So try your best not to snap anything off. Hold and apply pressure. Come on, that's a beauty. Beauteous, beauteous, beauteous. There we go. We have our wall. There it is. Wonderful. And now that's where the music box goes into play here. Music box is going to be put in here this way. So the access door for our electrical system will be in this side. So we have to attach it over this way. So I see the extension for the paper. Okay, it's going to hide that edge. So we're going to apply glue on this side. Don't worry if the paper gets a little bent over. Beauty of paper is you can straighten it out. Maybe overhang to match the wallpaper. Yeah, that's what it is. This has a raw edge, the music box. So the overhang is going to be apparently covering that raw edge. If not, we can paint it. That's right, Bill. We swore for you. We were swearing for you. Hey, you're only human. Sometimes you just got to let that F-bomb out, whether you want to or not. I'm going to check. I got to straighten that wall out. Get that 90-degree going on there. Let me check that before I go any further. So I'm going to get out my ruler. Check. See, it's off by a little. So I'm going to thump it with the finger, get it into play. Otherwise, it's out of here. It's out of here. Cleaning off the knife again. No lumps, no clumps. No, you did not swear, Bill. Nope. He was swearing, you just didn't hear it. I know what he was thinking. He was a good boy, though. Good boy. Better than me. You're talking about patience, Bill. If that was me, I would have been throwing stuff at it. I would have been swearing like a trooper. Especially after all that work. And then, of course, I'm going to break your chops, Bill. When everybody was talking about the trays for the small parts, you have the trays, use them. I make it a habit every time I do a project that got small little pieces, put it in a tray or something because it is a given. That thing is going to be MIA. Even if it's right in front of your face. You know what I mean? So, I'm bitching at you now. Glued that edge. I'm going to pop those pegs in place. Now, the paper, you see, I'm going to show you there's an issue. When we're putting this in, it's making the paper push in. Take that paper edge. If you can, I'm going to slide my nail in there. But if you don't have fingernails, guys, use the tip of your utility or crafting knife to slide in there or bend it out a little bit. Then you're going to push that into place. Once you have everything into place, nice, it should be able to, I got to turn it to my advantage, guys, so I can see if I've got it locked in. Yeah, see, it wasn't in all the way. Now that they're pushed into place, I can smooth out that edge. That's what the excess edge is for. And it's still not all the way in because I could see inside there is a gap. So I have to push it even harder. Laura, I was, yeah, I know you were, Bill. I know. I could feel it. Mother. Because that would have been me. I was said, oh, you dirty, rotten. Especially, I was just, so excited for you when, you got it together, you put it in. And then when we heard that pop, I'm like, are you effing, I said it out loud. Are you effing kidding me? After all of that work, I was swearing for you. There we go. I've got that pushed in, locked in, and then that wallpaper covers it up. See? Beautiful. The thing of beauty. Now let's straighten it out. We've got to straighten it out. Close that little door. And that little door is supposed to go on the inside. So that's going to help actually square that up. Oh, no, you don't. There we go. Put that door in there. That squares that off. And then it'll hold that steady until it dries. And then you'll just be able to open and close that door. And if that door does get a little rough to open and close, you just sand it down a little bit so you get that little bit of thing. A little bit of free huffing chemicals. I know. It just, you just, sometimes there's just an occasion that calls for the old F-bomb. It just, there is, and and some people say, well, no. I mean, what are you going to say? Oh, dang it. No. Especially after all, he was in there from 3:30 in the afternoon till, God, when did you finally get off, Bill? Had to have been about midnight. I mean, my God, that's like 7 hours. I would have been throwing the F-bombs. Shit. So there we have that one whole section. Ooh, let me push that back in there. I want that to stay in there until the glue settles. So there we have the whole section. You can see. I'll turn it lightly so that you guys can see. And our lamp stayed. Thank God. Ta-da! Beautiful. And this is doing what it's supposed to. It's actually working out pretty good. So we are going to move this off to the side because we have to get the platform and install it on the platform. How long have we been going? Have I drove you guys long enough? Drove you crazy long enough? We're at the 2-hour mark. If you guys want me to keep going, I will. If not, then we can send love and say goodnight. It's up to you guys. Oh, that's looking so good, Laura. Oh, I'm having a ball. Thank you, Cheza. It is fun. Uh, Actually, I could show you right here. Example of a warped piece when I was putting the piece together for the music box. You can't see it when I was holding it up, but you could see it now. See how that is going inward? That's because this section here was warped. Nothing you can do about it unless you soak the wood, weight it down, and let it dry for like a week. You might be lucky and have it flatten out, but I'm not going to that extreme. It would probably work, but I was there for hours watching and was so happy, and then bang, cursed like a sailor. Yeah, I know, me too, me too. That's what I'm saying. I was like, what the F, man? I don't believe it. And yeah, I knew it was a goner even before he checked it. I always enjoy many days with you, Laura. Oh, well, thanks. Okay. Well, I mean, if you guys want me to continue to install that section on the platform, I will. War pieces driving me. Yes, because there's not much you can do about it. I said, unless, like I said, you could usually get away with it with other pieces of wood, and this is a soft wood, so you might be able to get away with it by soaking it in water and then putting it on a flat surface and weight it down with something heavy. It might work, but then you're waiting. Then you gotta wait for it to dry. When will you be notified about donations? Oh, did you send me something? Hello, Mr. Prism. Sounds like I joined in just in time. Well, Mr. Prism, you're late, so spanking for you. Mrs. Prism, give him a spanking. Everybody welcome Mr. March 2026 in the house. Woohoo, lucky leprechaun. Woo, my husband just scared the living effing shit out of me. Holy crap, I better go check my shorts. Damn. Oh my God. He just creeped up on me. That was just so wrong. I'm not looking at the big page. So if anybody donated, I appreciate it. I'm sorry if I missed it. Thank you so much. All donations are greatly appreciated. Will you be notified? Sounds like it just on howdy. Yes, Mr. Prism is Mr. March. And I love it. And I'm already working on April's. Wait till you see what April's is. Oh my God. And like I told people before, you never know who's gonna be, the centerfold. I just scroll down and pick somebody at random, and that is it. So, I can't help it. It's funny. This next one's gonna be really good. Okay, we are going to attach this section of wall to our platform, and then I will let you guys escape. How about that? So this is our platform. Here she be, the platform. There it is in its glory. And I've got the wires all sticking out. This section is going to be going over in this area. So I need to slide the instructions out because I got to make sure I've got the wiring placed correctly before I glue anything down. Let's see if this glue is held in place. It has. This should be able to slide. Come on, you can do it. Or actually, we'll figure it out. I'm not going to screw with it right now. That's there. It might be stuck in the section. I'll have to fix that. Laura asked me for string pictures or two. I'm not saying anything, so you gotta wait. You gotta wait until April. Okay, this is going in this section. And I gotta see, okay, the wiring is going right up into that, right into the section next to the music box. So that has to go on the inside. I just gotta make sure I'm doing this correctly. Now see here on this, the platform section here, it's probably hard for you guys to see. I'm gonna move this so I can tilt this just a little bit. Here it does have black markings, so you know where everything is supposed to be placed and placed correctly. That is such a bonus when they do that. It really is. And I got to figure out why my track's not moving. I'll figure that later. So I'm going to turn this to my advantage because this wiring's got to go up inside here, guys. Up inside. I'm going to put that up inside there. So then it could stick its little tentacles out the top. And I have markings here on the base where this goes. Always do the dry run. Always. So that you know what the heck you're doing. Now, seeing that this piece is warped, I'm going to do the best that I can to line it up the best that I can. It's never going to be 100%. I think they do it that way on purpose. So if this side is looking good, I've got to turn it and make sure that this opposing side is good. I'm going to use a little extra light from my lamp so I can see what those lines are. This has to be pushed outward. Pushed outward. There we go. So that I know exactly where I'm going with it. The extra light always helps warn her. I have all kinds of light on in here because otherwise I can't see what the flip I'm doing. Line it up the best you can. Sometimes things will be off and there's really not much you can do about it. But there you go. Of course, it's because this piece is warped. We're going to have that issue where it's off by a tad. But once, and it's still a little flexible, so when I glue that bottom, it'll glue in place and it'll hold. That's the only bonus with that. I can't help every time I see Laura grab for the mini, I feel a little bit like Godzilla's there at Mini Village. That she makes, well, this... When I do the ship, I want mini skeletons. I got to either make them or find some. That's what I got to do. Because that'll be hilarious. The little skeletons all over all over the ship. Okay, so now that I know where this is going, I can take those wires out. And I'm going to glue the bottom of this section. And I'm just going to do it in a few spots. A little tack, tack, tack. Come on. Get that glue to come out there. There we go. Same thing here. Let me get this lamp out of my face so I can see where the hell I'm going with this. Just a small bead. And you can either do it with the bottle or with the knife. It's up to you. Whatever. I'm doing it this way so it's quicker. Do not glue the door, guys. You don't want to glue the door to the floor because then you won't be able to get it open. Oh, it's 1 a.m. I really need to get some sleep. Thanks for hanging out with us, Chesa. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gave you some tips on your build, and we're looking forward to your photographs. And like I said, you know, you showed for the brew on Monday, which is tomorrow. We'll sing happy birthday to you. I always sing happy birthday to whoever's got a birthday going on. All right, everything is lined up. Push down a little. I'm going to hold this inside wall while I push this outside wall out to the best of my ability. So it's lined up the best that we can. That's as good as it's going to get, guys. with the warped piece. All right, I have carpet showing on the outside there. I don't want that, so that means I've got to push this forward a little. There we go. That is lined up. Hold it in place for a little bit. So that it's close. Hey, close the door. You've been raising a barn? Hold that in place. Sorry for being a bit absent. Times are rough and I'm tired. Oh, well, then you should go to sleep. You can go to sleep. Or did you want us to talk you to sleep? I could talk in those soft tones, like, the Bob Ross tones. Come on, Bill, say it with me. Now we glue it in place so that we have a happy little wall. Look how happy it is, sitting there on top of its carpet, waiting for all of its furnishings. So I've held that pretty well. I think we are good to go. And we're just going to turn it. And that's what it looks like so far, guys. So you can see we are getting there. Get this out of the way so I don't hit it on nothing. But there it is. She's a thing of beauty. We're hung up on something on here. I'll look into that to see what's going on. Because this is supposed to slide and it's not sliding. So it might be stuck somewhere along the way. And I'm just going to have to pop it loose so that our train pulls out. We want the train to come out. So there's something going on here. I might have glued something and it got stuck and it wasn't supposed to. So, but we will figure it out. It's just a moment in time. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. But there it is, guys. A thing of beauty. Next time you'll see it, I'll have all of the little furnishings in. And we'll be working on the second level. There you go. And I'll finish up all of the painted edges and all the little, little things that I like to, nitpick about. But otherwise, looking cute. Looking cute. Today we are painting crimson red. Yeah, crimson red. I already did the red. I showed earlier. You missed it, Bill. It was I should have said that in the crimson red on the window detail, which I have to finish. Lovely, happy colors. Sorry, guys. I'll catch up later. Thanks for hanging out with us, TARDIS. I appreciate it. I can't help it every time. Okay, I've seen it. Little guts. Well, that's close to the railroad tracks. Yeah, now we're close. We're on the other side of the tracks now. Oh, on the other side of the tracks. So yeah, we're past the 2-hour mark, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's been fun. I hope you guys are liking how this is turning out. It's one of the cute ones. It's always fun. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great evening. Also, don't forget, morning brew. Get that coffee, and let's get the chit-chat on in the morning as normal. Also, anybody that donated, thank you very much. It didn't show up in the chat, so I apologize. But I appreciate every bit of help you guys can give me. It means a million. It really does. Have a good day, Laura Rest. I'm gonna go put some ice on it. It's getting a little puffy. So let's see that. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you all. See all of you. Come on, I'm counting on you. All of you in the morning. Don't make me have coffee by myself. I don't like to sit and talk to myself because then, my husband will really think I am nuts. So. Until then, hey, Leanne, get off my lawn. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning.